welcome to another episode of Because There's Skateboarding. Doggy. Alright. Well, welcome to another episode of Because There's Skateboarding down here at Soggybones. How am I meant to keep it chill when you do that? Alright, welcome to another episode of Because There's Skateboarding. Actually, in my opinion, the best shaped board.
Shut the show up.
Kid, I've always loved dolphins, and I've always been obsessed with pool skating, so empty pools and everything like that. So they're the two kind of concepts that have... None of those lights are on.
Oh, shit.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Because There's Skateboarding down here at Soggybones. Today's a pretty awesome episode, if I'm being a bit biased, because it's about an artwork that I've done that has now been placed onto an amazing shape board, which we'll be selling. So the shape board is one that my brother and I both skated. It's an amazing shape that's been around since I think like the late 80s, early 90s. It's a 9.81 and it's very iconic for Gons and crooked kind of shape. It's actually Ronnie Sandoval's favourite shape board, and here it is. Our first one printed with my artwork on it. So this is the 981 board, which is still in its wrapper. This is the first one, so I'm kind of like, you know, for me, as doing the artwork, it's the first board I've had my artwork on. So I will be taking it out of the wrapper, and I'll be having that one at the house, but I can't wait for the new order to arrive, and then we'll be doing a clip of us skating it. So that's the 9.8125. It's available now for pre-order via soggybones.com. There is a limited run, so if you love it, get to it. But anyway, let's talk about the process that I took, because I know that a lot of people are like, how do we get artwork onto boards? And it's not too difficult a process. First you've got to have the creative concept, and then you've got to get the art onto a graphic. So obviously my board's inspired by two of my favourite artists, and obviously like the shape being affiliated to Gons and Crooked, I wanted to kind of play with their artistic style and put something down onto paper. The two kind of creative thoughts that I had were like, I love empty pools and I've got a kind of love for dolphins. They're like my favourite animal. We won't go into that too much, but I wanted to kind of go and explore those two things and put them together. So that's what I did. I was sitting at home, I pulled out the pen and paper, and these are the original drawings of the artwork that I've done. So that was my first thought. I just used like a Sharpie. I've got a booklet where I do all my drawings. If you're an artist, I know most of you will have that, but if you don't, like, thoughts come to your head, and having a notebook's really important. And I just thought, look, I'm going to do this and I'm going to put something down. So the first thing I did was draw the Soggybones logo. I just did an artistic version of it, scribbled it down, traced it, and then I worked my dolphin, my deformed dolphin with a bone tail in reference to Soggybones. And then the face reference is very close to an artistic venture that Gons and that have done. So like some of his characters have like very simplistic eyes close together and simple outlines. So that's what I've worked with. I forgive you, you didn't put me here. And under it is, don't be a fool, drain that pool. So it's about dolphins in captivity, us as skaters draining the pool because we want to skate it, and getting them back into their natural environment, being the ocean. And obviously the bloated out shape of the dolphin is because of its deformation from being in an unnatural environment. On the second page is my other little details that go into the board. So whether it be my handwritten sayings, so take me to the sea, skate this pool for me, pump and dump with the pump that we've used, the fuck it bucket to get all the grub and dirt and matter out of the bottom of the pool, and then a few other things like that I had in mind, like save the dolphins, skate a pool, save a dolphin. These are just little random sayings that kind of got my creative juices flowing. So once I'd done them, I scanned them in and I put them onto my laptop. I can show you then the color process that I took via Adobe Illustrator. I'll get my laptop up and show you that in a minute. but I want to then now talk about the artistic references that I took to. So I'm not copying artists, I'm taking inspiration. There is a fine line, but I definitely look up to two artists in the skate industry who are also amazing skaters, so John Lucero and Mark Gons. So the first artistic reference, which is in the Disposable Bible, I use this for all my collections. So whether the boards you can see behind me, I like to build them up perfectly period correct with trucks, wheels, bearings and everything. So I use this Bible to find out the exact years that these graphics came out. And I also love the artwork. So there's one of the Visions Colour My Friends in boards. It's got obviously a sea style theme. The colour palette's very kind of, pastels, and I just like the look of it, and it looks great on a shape board. Now this isn't the exact shape board. This is a 1988. There's also over here the 1987, one of the most iconic graphics in the world of skateboarding, the sweatpants. It's the Gonzalez. It's not this shape either, but it's very similar. It's like a modern version. I think it was a 1990 or 91 shape that this 9.81 came out on. So that's one artistic reference that I took. And the other one is also out of the second version of the Disposable book with Lance Mountain on the cover. So these were the colour palettes that I worked with. And this was Mark Gons' artwork for a collab with Real Skateboards. So these colours are the ones that really inspired me, and I thought, they'd look really good with the kind of concept that I had in my mind. So that's kind of how I got to it. I scanned the artwork in, and then in Illustrator I adjust my Pantones, and I created all the little different drawings, and I placed them in position with a layout that I was into. So the dolphins are kind of rising around the love hearts. They're all dead. They're going to heaven because we've drained the pool. And we hope that it kind of expresses that motion of like getting dolphins out of captivity. Super random, but it's an idea that played in my head. And now I get to skate it. So I'm super hyped. I hope you guys love it. As I said, there's limited runs. If you don't like it, who cares? If you do, we're stoked. It's just another little artistic venture that we've got to do in the world of skateboarding. And whether it be my brother's photos, my art, or our creative ideas, we get to put them onto boards or paper or frame them, and hopefully you guys love them. And that's kind of what we do here at Soggybones. So yeah, get behind it. I might quickly get my laptop and I'll show you guys how I got the colours on, because if you're into art and want to get like your boards put onto boards, this is the process that you have to take, so just bear with me. Okay, so this is the MacBook. This is what I do all my design work on through the Adobe Cloud. Illustrator's what I use. Here's a close-up of the kind of screen that I work with. So what I do is I create outlines of every item. So if I pull this dolphin, I can take him away. So I've color paletted each. I have the template of the board. So every board has to have a different template. So if you're creating an 8-inch graphic, you obviously have to create it to like fit the parameters of the board. This is quite a large board, so I've had to make the artwork bleed off the outlines, and it's one of those things. So this graphic I couldn't put on an 8-inch board, or I will lose the edges of it. So that's why this graphic is specifically just for this shape board through Soggybones. All the little ventures that I take, so you can see that I've pulled him away, so we've lost the color of his mouth, whereas if I can Control Z, that's put back in place. So these are all my different drawings. The love heart's different. I've scanned in and created outlines for all my texts, and I've done a layout that I was happy with, and then to the side here is the layout for the top graphic. So if you want to put grip tape over and cut it out, or put clear grip, you can. And that's like a really basic rundown to do it. So Illustrator's the best program for putting your artwork into something to vectorize it, to then get it printed onto what we now use as heat transfers in the skateboard industry. I'd love to create a screen printed graphic one day, but it is a more expensive venture. but we'll probably do that and work with some of the local WA screen artists and get a nice press done up to do that. But for now, here it is, the finished product. I haven't opened it, so why don't we open it right here with you all, so you can have a closer look. So these will be coming all wrapped, ready to go, free grip with all our decks via Soggybones. If you want to skate it, then it comes with a free sheet of Modus Black, because we love supporting Brett Margaritas and the crew at Modus here in WA. And there it is. That's the first time I've touched my first graphic board, so I'm pretty hyped on it. I hope you guys love it. It doesn't have too much meaning, it's just a random concept that was stewed up in my mind, paying tribute to the artistic and creative skaters John Lucero and Mark Gons on an amazing 9.8125. Get yours today, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Because There's Skateboarding, where we talk about the brand new Soggybones 2023 winter collection.